Now, this is the next day after I put this on, and I got thinking this is kind of stupid. Not the best way to put that on. Because now it's not a 2x6 in this point, it's 2x4. So that's no good. So the only reason I did like that, because I couldn't really get in deep enough with my reciprocating saw. But I don't know, I might be able to come in from the top maybe and nip it off. If I can nip it off half decent, I can knock it out with the hammer. So anyway, this piece of lumber is no longer going to be a 12-footer. I can still probably use this bottom piece for inside here, 73 inches, because I gotta rebuild this part anyway, where the door hinges on, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do over here yet. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this off today after all the work I did yesterday putting that on. I used the excavator to tie it up. Oh yeah, and look, see there's water coming in there somewhere, all the way up there. It's probably, I don't know what's going on up there. Probably where the spikes are. It seems like the whole thing is kind of sweating. Maybe it's just sweat. Anyway, it always kind of did that. So I'll pop these slag bolts out and fix my mistake. All right, so I got that new piece on there. I haven't got it all bolted in yet, but I got a full 2x6 straight up from the top down to the bottom. And we just got back from Home Hardware, and I got some supplies here. I got a big 10-inch one, 3/8. I figured I'd put one right through the header there, through those little uprights to her studs. So same over there. So I got two, one for either side of the header. Drive right through. And I got some of these. I'm gonna go outside the barn now. There's spikes that are driven in through the steel up there, and they go straight down. And I wanted to put one, see there's water in there. It's been leaking, and these are leaking too. That one's leaking, and probably the rest of them are. That one's real bad. So I got this. I figured I'd pull out at least one of them spikes and snap it back down. I'll probably put two in here and two in there, since they're the main pieces to the header. And then I'll just put singles in here wherever I can, wherever I think I need it. And actually I should put one, save one right for the end here, but I'll not be able to put it in until, well yeah, I guess I can put that one in. Because this next stick that I'm gonna put up on this side, like I'm doing there, it won't reach the top. So I'll be able to get the last one. I'll get two in there, and I'll get two in there, and two over there. And then, I don't know, I put one in the middle. We'll see when I get out there. Yeah, so there is one pulled out here. It's got a little rubber washer on it. I think those, oh yeah, those are okay. And these are all right. This one's pulled out. Only one in there. There. I'll put one in there maybe. Alright, I'll go down here. This one, I'll pull that out. I guess I will, I don't know. This is the last one. Maybe I'll put two in here. This one's rusted out pretty bad anyway. Okay. Alright, so I got that done, and that one kind of came out. I got two in that one, and I got two in this one, and that one came out. I was just going wherever they had the spikes before, so they must have been out before. And then I got two in this main beam here. And I got some 6-inch 3/8 there. And another 6-inch 3/8 there. And I think this one's a 5-inch, I think. That was one of the older ones. And these are, what are they, 5/16, I think, in diameter, and 6 inches long, something like that. And I did a couple over there too. This one was really leaking. And I think I got two bolts in there, 5/16, 6 inches. And I'm just debating. I got two of these 10-inch ones, 3/8, and I'm thinking about putting them right into the header in there. Because I This here is probably a laminated, like 3 2x6s sandwiched together, probably. I'm not sure. They might have had a full beam in there. But anyway, I think I'll drill a little pilot hole in a little ways, and then the rest of it can grab into that. So that's going to be it. And I got one for the other side too. I just thought if I ever come through here again or anything hits this, I'll it'll save me from tearing everything apart. And then part of me thought, well, maybe it's a good idea that this does release from this, because that's why this broke. Well, that probably broke because it's probably old lumber. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'll put it in and leave it. And next time, well, I'll just have to be careful whenever I'm going in and out of here. That's all. And then I'm going to bring another 2x6 up on the other side of this and strengthen that up. And then I'll be able to tie in the bottom, or the other side, I mean, where the steel comes in. And that'll be it. And it's kind of pulled out from the wood here. Shouldn't be able to fit my finger in there. Anyway, I think that'll at least fix it to what I damaged anyway. So, everything's dry now. It's raining out. It's been raining all morning. Everything looks pretty dry, so I guess I cleaned that up pretty good. Sealed it up good. So now, today I'm going to try to get this old rotted sill out. Actually, the sill's under here. It's already gone. It's just a little bit left of it, and I'm going to take this one out too and replace them both. I got a pressure treated 2x6. I was just thinking just now, actually, that this isn't full 2 inches, so I might need a piece of plywood or something to sandwich in between or build it up, because I don't want this to drop any. Anyway, I got this bolted on for now to give me something to jack up, and I just need to take the weight off it. And I've separated the spikes here. I took the reciprocating saw and cut off whatever spikes were here and down through here. So it might just be the nails on the outside. And then when I get pulling that, I'll see how that comes off. If I can get that off and get this figured out, then I'll figure out what I'm going to do here. So that wasn't too hard. I was going to use that jack, but these hydraulic ones just move it just a little bit at a time. It works a lot better. So I think this old sill was not pressure treated, and it lasted that long. It's hard to believe, because I'm pretty sure nobody's ever replaced that. Pretty sure. It's funny why they only went to here and then they stepped it up. Yeah, because like there used to be a big wall, you know, there used to be a window here and a window here, and yeah, I don't know why it was built like that. Anyway, that'll go in the furnace. And yeah, I'll start figuring that out. All right, so I got that on, and I drilled into the concrete and put one of those bolts into it, hold her in place. And I got some gasket stuff underneath. I didn't know if I was going to bother putting it in or not. It's been raining all day today. And so I got this next piece, because I'm going to have to, that's I guess what you call the mud sill, I guess. And this is the other sill. So this one, it's not pressure treated. I notched it out here so I could slide it in. See, I think we're going this way. Slide it right in. I think if I got the notches in the right spot. And then this metal has to be cut. Get it out of there. not too bad. Might have to. Thought I might have to go a little further with the router. I think I got her pretty good. And that's taken, I think that's taken some weight. This one isn't. I might have to shim that up. And I made this longer because I'm going to put another 2x6 right up this wall, same as I did there. And then I'm going to have to do some other. See, the board trim will come across here. And I'll have to, I think I'll put some white metal. I'll bend some white metal right down over. There used to be this old stuff. I'm gonna get rid of that. This makes a nice metal come right down over that. Yeah, and then I gotta put the screws back to that. And I don't know, I'm debating about, I don't know, I was gonna cut this out altogether up here. Cut it here and put another kind of header across, and then put something from here down. I have to put something better than this because this is all rotted out. I'm not going to take it off though. But I don't know if I want to get into that kind of work. And I have to, that one up there has to be cut just like that one to allow the 2x6 to come up past it. I don't know. There's always water coming in here, so I don't know if I'm going to do anything different than that. I was going to use that little piece of pressure treated wood that's left over, and I was going to come right straight through with another piece of pressure treated. But I kind of want the thicker piece, and this one ain't going to get the water or the dampness that the other one is underneath, so I think that'll work out okay. I haven't got any of this nailed yet, so I'll just leave that for tonight. And I don't know, I might put something on here next, maybe. And there's a little gap here, I had to keep it away. At first I did bring it in this way, but then it didn't line up with this, and this is already plumbed, so I can't really move that any. So I think that'll work out okay. I mean, it's not cabinets, it's just an old barn. Everything's kind of, you know, put together rough anyway, so as long as it's strong, and the next time I hit this header, she ain't gonna buckle or anything. I'll know when I hit it before I push everything apart. And see, there's no shoulder here either. I'm gonna probably get a piece of angle iron and come in here and put a bolt right in the corner. I have a bolt here, of course, but I'm gonna put one right in the corner to give it a little extra holding power. Same as over here, I should have something here anyway, because this here isn't, you know, holding anything. And this sill probably isn't 100%. It's not bad. Surprising, you know. None of that was pressure treated as far as I know. I don't even know if they had pressure treated stuff back then. Anyway, that might be all I do today. I'm just picking away at it. It's going to be raining for the next few days anyway, so I can't do anything else. Yeah. So I got 4 screws in there, 2, 4, 6, 8. And that should be pretty good. This one, like I said, is not carrying any weight. I'll have to shove something in there. See, I put this on with all the rotten stuff was down there. Should have done that last. Anyway, it's coming together. I guess that's, I don't know if I'll do anything else or not. I don't want to take the door off because it's raining tonight and the wind is kind of blowing this way, so I guess there's not much else I could do unless I snip this off. But, I guess that's probably good enough. Tomorrow will be another day. Another miserable day today. Windy northwest, I guess. Probably 60-kilometer winds, and I think it's 4 degrees, but it probably feels like -2. It rained really hard last night, and this morning we had quite a little shot of it. Anyway, I'm doing this right now. I got this cut out here, and I got this one cut out. I don't know if I had that cut big enough. It doesn't look too big. I got to fit a 2x6 in here, all the way up, and I got to cut that up there too. And I was just taking off this here. I made this a long time ago. I had that bolted up there, and I had these pins. I still have the other part that I made. I made kind of like a little crane, a little thing. It made probably 3.5 feet or so, and a little triangle, and you could swing it out. And I had a winch on it, and I used one of my drills. I had a whole setup. Here it is right here. I had this here on the end. My winch, I think I must have taken the winch off it, but it had a lag bolt on the end you could screw into a block of wood. So this thing, yeah, so this is what it looked like. It was, you'd hook your winch onto this, and it went up onto this other thing that swung out. Where the hell's that? Oh yeah, here it is over here. Yeah, so this is where the winch is. Yeah, so see, this would hook into the pins. This was the top, and it had a little hook in the bottom. You could swing this out just like a little arm. It would swing out, and then I had the button hit with the winch, and then the winch would be hooked onto this. This is quite an invention. The winch would hook onto this right close to where the block of wood was. So let's just imagine a big block of wood here, probably 20 inches round, and I would screw this into the, into the top part of the block, and then the bottom part would rest up to this, and then I'd lift it up, and I'd use this to leverage it. So the pivot point was right up at the end, of course. Then I had a handle here to push it into the furnace when I'd swing it around. And I use this, I welded this onto the end of this rod, and it would spin into the into the block of wood. This is before I got the sawmill. And I made like these eye bolts. I used them and I welded on some washers to hold it in place. It was a pretty good little setup. I think I do have a couple of videos of me actually using it. And this was probably, I made this back in, I don't know, 2014 or something. It's a long time ago. And I think this is an old bed frame. Yeah, I just did some scrap pieces of stuff around, and I had a muffler clamp here. I welded that on. And I don't know, I think the first one of this broke off, and it wasn't big enough or something. And if it was kind of a rotted out piece of wood, it wouldn't stick very good. And I should have actually made it longer, but anyway, it worked pretty good for what I was using it for. Anyway, so that's what this part was for. And I'd left it up there after I got the sawmill. I was using all the big logs for lumber and stuff, but it was too damn big, and some of the stuff was so big, like it would, it was hanging here, right? So I could swing it out, and then you'd push it in, and then you'd back the bolt out. It worked pretty good. Anyway, I guess I'll retire this piece of history. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Anyway, so now I guess the next step is I gotta cut this metal off here because it's gonna be in the way. And I don't know if I can get by this thing here or not. I can come in on an angle, but I can't really come in on an angle with this thing. I don't know. And then that's got to be cut. So I guess I'll do that. All right, well, I got that done. Well, not done, but started. And I just have to get the excavator going and give this a push in and that way. She's way out. I can get it in behind that piece right there, and then I can anchor it somewhere. Too bad it couldn't have been another 1.5 feet. I could have went right to the top. Would have made it stronger. Anyway, and then I gotta try to close this gap down. There's some spikes that are in there. I don't know if I should cut them out or I might just put some lag bolts down through it, maybe. So I got that shelf cut out, right size, top and bottom. And out here, I cut off some old jagged metal that was going up here. Now I have more wood to nail to going up, or screw that sheet into, so I can do that. I get all the caulking off of here. I'll push that in after I get the stick where I need it. I'll be able to tack all of this in nice and tight, and I'll probably take this board off and make an extended board out here and caulk it, have it come up to here and cut it over or something, I don't know. I might notch this out maybe and have the stick come right up to the top of this. I'll see, kind of just bit by bit figuring it out. I got some lag bolts in there, and I got thinking later probably all I need really in this spot is these here deck screws maybe, but nice to have at least one in the bottom and one on either side of that top plate there, or whatever you call it, and one at the very top once I push it into the excavator. Really, this isn't going to take any kind of a hit. You just need it fastened with something. This is the one over here that I really wanted to strengthen up. So it's good now. All right, so that's in place, and those are screwed in place too, and that one's screwed into place. I haven't got everything screwed in from the outside yet. I got the electrical on here, and what I did was put a couple of the, I think they're 4-inch lag bolts. I wasn't going to put all of those in, but I ended up doing that, and I thought I should put one at the bottom and one at the top where this is split here, and then I put one up there, one down there. So anyway, that should be pretty good. And out here I ended up cutting this jagged piece off here, and I got this all, now I got screws in here. I think, yeah, I got 2 5-inch screws coming into that, and the other one up top. So now I just have to caulk this, and I know this isn't fastened yet. I'll have to put a face board on here to build it out a little bit, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna wrap this with metal, white metal, and come right down and down here and make a nice finish. And I'll cut this piece of garbage off here. Yeah, I might be able to cut that down there and save this and bang it back into place. And then just have my white metal come down to here. And then I can put my top board on, and I'm gonna have a little bit of an angle, kind of like I did with the other one, so that when the door is closed and the water's coming down here, it'll drip and Drip past. Drip past. And tomorrow, I'm gonna put that piece that I cut on here and make the door a little smaller, because it's kind of a little doty down there and here, and the hinges aren't just great. It's all right, I guess, but and the door's kind of crooked anyway. The frame is square as far as I know, but the door is crooked. I think I cut it that way. So, and I got a 6-inch lag bolt here, 5/16 down on an angle, because I needed some way to join these to the sill. So that's how I did that, but I still might put an angle iron on here and on the other side too. And I got some 5-inch screws in here. And I got 5-inch screw there. So anyway, it's a lot stronger than it was. And I'm kind of debating about redoing the wiring a little bit, running a live wire along my beam and feeding smart bulbs up here so I can turn them on without a switch, and then have a live wire come down here and across. And instead of having this extension cord run my light up here, or really everything up there, and the furnace, I'm going to have a live feed in through here. And this here is what used to feed the furnace. Went over to that box there, and then that box over to the main panel. And there was a fuse blown a long time ago, and I just did this up. I used to have to do this for when the power went out too. I just disconnected and run an extension cord to a generator. So anyway, it's coming along. That's all I'm gonna do today. All right, so today's another day. We got snow last night. It's not too bad right now. It's -2, I think. Ooh, that's sharp. So I took off this board. I didn't realize I put so many damn nails in it. Like usually I'm cursing people for using so many nails, and you don't have to. And I put screws all up through there, so that's all fastened. I have to put a little bit of caulking maybe in a few spots that look rough. And up here, I'm always getting a leak in around there, so I'm gonna do that too. And of course, I have to caulk from here up. And I did there's a few loose nails up there. I redid with some of these screws with the rubber washers on them. So after I tore this off, I got looking, because I'm going to put a board from here across, and then I got looking, there's a gap here with no board. So I thought, well, there's only little tiny pieces on there, so I may as well take all of this off. And I found another board that's roughly the same thickness, and I can lay it inside. It'll be a little bit too long or too wide, but that's okay. So I figure I'll take all these little pieces off, and then I can put that board in and let it come right down to here, because there's kind of a little hole here anyway. There always was. And I had these sticks in here to cover up that hole. So now I'll do that properly. I had this all fixed up last night. It's coming together. Got all kinds of lumber anyway, I don't have to worry about that. This is one of the ones I cut quite a long time ago. So I'll start using this. This is going to be all brand new. And I'm going to take the door off today and put a piece on in behind here too. So I'll do that. Okay. So I got this done. There's a little bit of whoever poured the cement poured it on an angle. She must have bulged out here, so that's why there's a little bit of a crimp here. And I put a little piece in there because there's a hole up in there. And I used to have boards to close up, but now that's not a problem. There's still a hole there, but it don't go down. Nothing can get in anyway. And I got this stick on. It's looking pretty good now. I put a few nails in here just to kind of hold things together. I was going to caulk this tonight, but I think I'll leave it. It's going to rain the next couple of days. Oh yeah, I see daylight coming through there too, or I got a caulk up there because sometimes it leaks. If the rain's hitting this side, it'll leak up on the roof. And so tomorrow, that's the old door. It's a little bit smaller since I put this on, so I'm going to have to take off 2 inches off the door and get some new hinges, or well, new to this area hinges. I have old hinges I've been scrounging off the barn. There's old barn doors back there. I think I have about 12 heavy duty hinges. So I'll get that on. It'll come flush to this and flush to this, and then I'll be able to put my trim on. That'll come out over maybe an inch or so, and then I'll put this top piece on. This flashing's getting all tore to hell, and up there it's getting bad too. But next year I'm gonna take these doors off completely, take all this trim stuff off, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna put a rail on there. So I'm gonna have a sliding door, so these doors will not be an issue. I think I have enough room. I measured it already. If I have an opening or a door here, it'll slide and not catch the end of that barn. I think it's close. That way when I come in here, see, when these doors are open, I'm unloading logs, I always got, 4 feet of door here to contend with. So that won't be an issue anymore. So I've made quite a few improvements here. Quite a few. The electrical will be another little job I'll have to do sometime to reroute this, so I don't have to use this extension cord to power everything here. So anyway, this is pretty solid now. That's solid. I get a sponge stuck in up there though. I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I can make that a little better. Sometimes when the rain comes in here, that sponge sucks it. Yeah, I could do something. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I'm doing today. I'm just doing little bits every day. And I did put a few screws in up here too. You can kind of see the steel kind of peeling away a little bit, but it's tight there and there's nails. I found a bag of nails, like these types of nails. Not these types really, the proper types, because they have a gasket on them. I found a bag, and yeah, I was looking for other screws, small roofing nails, and I found some screws here. I knew they were there, but I didn't know what this bag was. It's Home Hardware. I was like, what's this? And this is the proper, like steel nails you would use. Got a little rubber gasket there. But I noticed this piece of paper, and I said, geez, I see a receipt in there. I got looking at it. What does it say here? It says, what's that? March 12th, 2002. And then, what is it? $1.40 a pound. And they got 2 pounds at $1.40 a pound. 1.5 inch galvanized roofing nails. That's for steel. So anyway, that's a long time ago. Cavendish Road, 2002. I don't think I bought them. I'm pretty sure I didn't bought them. Well, salesperson ABC. I wonder who that would be. Anyway, I thought that was kind of an interesting. Winston probably bought them, I'd say. Anyway, I got a pound or so if I need anything. There are all kinds of. I'll never need to buy nails again in my life, unless I need them for my nail gun, of course. So anyway, that's all I'm doing tonight. And I get all those screws in. Everything's done there. I might have to put a little bit of caulking over that, maybe a few spots. Whenever I did that, I just kind of used small pieces of steel. I wasn't too concerned about what it looked like. And next year I'm going to paint the whole barn probably too. Always something to do with this whole place. Anyway, and I was thinking with this, I might actually get some pressure treated lumber and make a little step here. It's always quite a little step, like it's just above my knee here. And then you can step up and over. At least this one's here now, it's not too bad. So, anyway, that's it for tonight. So I got the door up today, that's all. It's really pouring. Well, it's steady rain. I guess I shouldn't say it's really pouring. Sounds like a lot out here, or in here. So I got a board for the bottom, but I have to cut kind of an angle just below the door, so when the water drips down, it'll come out. But I don't want it to come too far in to allow the wind to blow snow and stuff in. And then out here, I gotta put this trim around here to get this flush. So I gotta get a good size board here, probably 8 inches, come right down. And then I gotta get another board here to come right to this, because this is what closes the door in, so it's gonna have to come down over this. Yeah, so that's not looking too bad. And of course I got a drip coming in under this flash in here. I don't know if it's just because I have it bent down. There, she might. It's just a hole right up in there, but the caulking can fill that in. And then I got a caulk around here, and there's a spot right up there. I see water dripping in there inside the barn. Yeah, south wind. It's about 4 or 5. I think it's supposed to be 7 degrees today. We're supposed to get quite a bit of rain, and tomorrow a lot of rain. 20 mils or something like that. Anyway, it's kind of wet to be working out here, so I might not do any more. I have that board there. It's cut to fit in here. So I don't know. I might see if I can do something here. So I'm just gonna leave the door the way it is. I put this on. I figured I took that stick out and it's just gonna drip there all night. So it's like, it's too bad I didn't have something the right length. But I took 2 pieces of the old siding I had, and I made them kind of like telescopic. And they'll stay there, and I can after I go out, I can fix it in place, and it'll keep the water from coming in here, because it's all soaked now. I had it exposed all day. Anyway, it's not gonna rain. Not gonna rain all night, I don't think. So I can go out this way, and I put this stick on here so I could close this over for the night, and then I'll do something better tomorrow if the rain ever lets up. Anyway, that's it for today. Well, this is what I got done today. I got this mounted in. I got a little bit of a drip tray. I was gonna put metal around that, but I changed my mind. I figure there's no point in that. I'll put some caulking up here maybe. And I got this outside board on. I had some pressure treated stuff, paint to put on, and this is all I had. I ran out. And I used one of the old boards, and I just planed it down and took the old paint off it and stuff. So that's what these black marks are. That's where the old paint and the screws or the nails went in. I'll still have to bend this around and caulk the top, but it was raining pretty much all day today, on and off. And I took my planer, this board, this metal was kind of making it kind of tilt a little bit. I got a nice seam there now. So I took my hand planer and I took off maybe 1/8 of an inch all the way down. And I planed this down too. So that's nice and tight, because the concrete was kicking out here, so it was causing me problems. So this is way better than I thought I'd get it done. I don't know if I like the idea of having the boards coming right down to that. Like, I had that metal a little too long. I meant to only have it come down to here, but I mismeasured my measurements. But anyway, I thought, well, so what, it comes down. And I thought I might build something here to come up. So I don't know what I'll do. Anyway, I figured I'd come down. It helps hold all the bottom edges of the metal. This is nice and tight, so that's good. This is kinked out here because whoever did the concrete made a little crease there. And this door, when I close it, it's tight at the bottom, but it's not at the top. So I figured I'd put one of these at the top, and I took the old one off, And I was gonna put it here, but then I was like, well, let's just put it at the top. So when I got two hands, I can pull this in and slide that over. And then it's nice and tight along the top, way tighter than the other one was. So there'll be no snow blown in here this year. And any water comes down here will drip off and go out. So that's good. I just need to caulk it tomorrow now around these areas. And all up there too, and up there, and tap this down. I'd like to get some new metal there. Like I'm gonna put a door on here next year. So I'm gonna put new white metal on the top for a drip tray or a drip edge. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna back all these screws out, slip something in underneath, and come down halfway or whatever to make it look nice. Yeah, that'll look good. And then I don't know what color I'll paint that door. Anyway, that's way, way, way tighter now. It looks a little cleaner with this up here. It's kind of out of the way. And it opens nice. And then on the inside here, it does the same thing. See, it's warped. I don't know why. I got this little tiny one up here. I can just put it up there when I'm in here working, and it'll keep the wind and the snow. I could put another one in the middle. If I want to get real fancy, I could get some rods, drill holes up here, have one come down halfway to a handle that you turn, and another one here, and you could have a handle you turn this way to push this up, and push that one down and lock it. I mean, that's something I could do, but I'm not gonna do that. I want to fill this in with caulking. I got a caulk around here. But everything turned out pretty good. I'm actually kind of surprised at how well. Big gap here, but that's all right because I have the have this board come down a little bit further. So everything's nice and tight. Yeah, I'm gonna put a few more screws in here to suck that in. I use 5-inch screws, so she's really taking a good bite. When I close this door here, it's nice and everything's just nice and tight. That's the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, that's all I got done today. Wasn't very much. And it was leaking here last night. I had to wrap this in plastic. I don't know, water coming down up there somewhere. There's always a drip here. So I don't know if it's, I think it's blowing in. I don't really know. It's blowing in underneath or what it is. That's something I'll do tomorrow when the rains stop. So the next little project is to get this door fixed up so the snow doesn't blow in here. All last winter it was always a pile of snow here. I have to shovel out. So I just don't know what I'm going to get into there, but that might be tomorrow's job. This is all done. I got everything done up there except for caulk and everything. So yeah, that looks a lot nicer. All right, that's it for another day. Well, today I fixed this. I had to replace this board inside too. And I had to put another board in there because there's quite a gap. Anyway, I didn't do too bad. It's all going to come apart next year anyway. I had to put a couple of hinges on here because the other ones were gone or bent. And that one up there, I think it's okay. I noticed this one. This door is dragging on the bottom there pretty bad. To the point where it's almost pulling that out. So I noticed this hinge here isn't really taking a lot of weight. It must have pulled it out or something at some point. And that one up there is kind of bent, so it's allowing this end to sag down, which is letting everything drag. See, if I lift it a little bit, it's not too bad. I want it to be tight, but not that friggin' tight. And this one's all right. It was dragging earlier, but it's not now since I put the new hinge on. And I put this block on. I put a couple of 5-inch screws on an angle up into the sill. And then I went outside and went right through from the outside trim and put 3 in. 1, 2, and 1 down here. And then that was good and solid. So that'll do until I tear everything apart next summer, probably, I guess. Yeah, this is no good at all. I'll have to do that tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, you can kind of tell it's pulled away up here. because it closes up here, and then it's, yeah. And I did some caulking over here. I didn't have the proper, or my other stuff. This is good stuff though. I did that, and I did all in there. It's real good stuff. It's expensive, it's 15 bucks a tube. And I did the problem spot up there, and so I just have to do all up that seam. I got some stuff coming tomorrow, and I did all along here. And I even went up top, and there, I kind of looked at a few spots up there too. So anyway, I think I got this pretty well conquered out here. Yeah, I started to do a little stain here and I ran out, so anyway, I don't even think I'll need to worry about that. I might even paint these. I don't know what I'm gonna do next year. And this will all be gone. I might even take this off. I'll probably put all brand new stuff on, and then I'll have a sliding door come right to here, and then it'll slide right to here, and I won't have to worry about these friggin' doors being in the way in here, because when I'm unloading logs, I come in and that door is, you know, out to here. So then when I'm taking stuff off, I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, be real good. And I'm gonna put some lights maybe up here or something. I wanna really have this spot lit up well. So that's it for today. I guess I don't think I'll tackle this right now. I'll close them up for now. It's not gonna rain anymore. We didn't get really any rain today. We got some kind of flurries or something on and off, but it wasn't a bad day. It was cool. It was like +2 or something like that with a southwest wind. All right, that's it.